Hi, now we'll be discussing about deadlock. Deadlock is nothing but two tasks trying to get lock of two resources where one resource is locked by the computing task. To understand this better, we can look at this particular graph where you see task T1 has acquired resource of R1. Similarly, task T2 has lock of resource R2. Now T2 is trying to get lock of R1 and T1 is trying to get lock of R2. This situation is known as deadlock because none of the tasks can complete. In order to understand deadlock better, it's important to distinguish between locking, blocking, and deadlock. Locking is when one particular task acquires lock of a resource, while blocking is when if T1 has acquired the lock of R1 and T2 is trying to access R1, that situation is known as blocking. But if both these two tasks are trying to access the resource at the same time, then that is known as deadlock. We'll look at a demo to better understand the deadlock. Okay. So I have this AdventureWorks database. So what I will do is, first I will ensure that there are no deadlocks. Okay. There are two tables, that is person address and person address type. I will acquire a lock on one of the tables. Okay. Similarly, the other task will acquire lock on the second table. Now, if I try running this particular query, it will be blocked because this task, the second task, has lock on the address. So let's run this particular query. Okay, now we are in a blocking situation. Until and unless this releases the lock, will be blocked. Now we'll create a deadlock situation where this particular task 2 will try to access resource that is locked by task 1. So now we were in a deadlock situation. Okay. So what SQL Server does is it actually, so you see that message was deadlocked on another process. So what it does is it actually roll back one of the transaction when the deadlock has happened. Okay. So the solution of this particular issue is actually running theoretically what is expected is you should have the table following the same order in both the tasks. So person address and person address type, this is like one order. Here we had like the opposite order. So ideally it's expected to have person address and person address type in the same order as this particular task.